Welcome to the fourth election of American history. It occurred in 1800 from October 31st up to December 3rd. A lot happened since 1796 and this was an interesting election. Incumbent President John Adams had to deal with a lot of problems. His relationship with Vice President Thomas Jefferson was bad and worsened during election season. The major events since 1796 started with the XYZ Affair with France. The US sent ministers to France to help improve relations. Those ministers were Charles Cotesworth Pickney, Second Minister John Marshall, and Last Minister Elbridge Gerry. In simple terms, the French wanted a lot of bribes to improve relations and for them to stop messing with American ships. This was insulting and started the Quasi War, an undeclared war between America and France. Fun fact: Washington came out of retirement to lead the US Army into the war. The Quasi War would end in 1800 after the rise of Napoleon to power. But Adams took a lot of unpopular actions to fight during the war. The Alien and Sedition Acts by the Federalists were made to scare pro-French sentiments and anti-government newspapers. Democratic Republicans were outraged by this and saw it as extremely unconstitutional. Jefferson and Madison protested in the Virginia and Kentucky resolutions, saying the states had more rights than the federal government and could nullify laws as unconstitutional. This same rhetoric would be used by the South throughout the 1800s and up to the Civil War. There was talk of Chief Justice Ellsworth stepping in, but because the practice of judicial review was still early and not developed yet, nothing happened. Also, here's the list of all Chief Justices from 1789 until 1800. All of these actions by Adams made him unpopular, even to the point to which Hamilton was angry at him. Either way, the Federalists nominated President Adams and Pickney for Vice President, this election being the first to have two nominee tickets. While the Democratic Republicans nominated current Vice President Jefferson for President and Burr for his ticket partner. The campaign was nasty, with Federalists calling Jefferson a pro-French atheist, while the Democratic Republicans called Adams a pro-British elitist bigot after the acts. By the way, don't forget, until 1804, all electors had 2 votes for 2 candidates. During election season, he tried to convince electors to cast their votes for Pickney instead of Adams. Democratic Republicans found Hamilton's letter showing his despise for Adams and printed it all over the newspapers. And the winner was Thomas Jefferson won, becoming the 3rd president in American history. Jefferson won with 73 electoral votes in a close race, but one elector accidentally voted for Burr, tying the Electoral College, so the House had to decide the winner. And with the help of Kingmaker Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson became president instead of Aaron Burr. Even though policy-wise Burr was closer to Hamilton, Hamilton did not trust Burr at all with defending the nation. John Adams got 65 electoral votes and became the first incumbent president to lose re-election. Charles Cotesworth Pickney got 64 electoral votes. And lastly, John Jay got 1 vote. This back-to-back headache-inducing elections led to the 12th Amendment, so this would not happen again in the future. In the Senate, the Federalists won, winning 21 of the 32 seats again. They won the majority, with 17 being the minimum for it. For the House, Federalists kept control for now, but by 1801 the Democratic Republicans would gain a supermajority due to the glaring appeal of the party. Theodore Sedgwick was the Federalist Speaker after Dayton became a senator in 1799. As the 1800s came around, this era in American history would start an avalanche of support for the Democratic Republicans and the slow death of the Federalist Party. Thankfully, the transition of power went well. This was the first transition of power between parties and thus called the Revolution of 1800. Jefferson took his oath of office on Wednesday, March 4th, 1801, in the Capitol in Washington, D.C., being the first president to be inaugurated there, and thus the 4th election in American history came to an end. Also, subscribe to my friend Ashgrove Productions. He is making similar videos about American and British history. High quality videos, check him out. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video.